Greetings. Eric Backer, New Zealand naturopath, author of Candida Crusher. Thanks for checking out the video. Questions. I get them all the time. Imagine if you were in a job where all the time people ask you questions all the time. Would you mind? I actually quite enjoy it, particularly answering the questions through this channel to give people some good information. I like to cut the crap, as you know, and go straight to the point, right? No point fluffing around. Eric, what's the best way to reintroduce sugar or sugar substitutes after completing the Candida diet? This is a question I get asked all the time, constantly. All right? People love sugar. People go crazy about sugar. People eat over 2 times their body weight in sugar a year. I've said this before in previous videos. In turn of the century, around 1900, people were eating about a pound of sugar a year. Okay, now people eat, you work it out, 300-400 pounds of sugar a year. People eat like huge amounts of sugar. Sugar is so cheap now. You can buy bags of sugar so cheap. Sugar, like salt once, used to be very, very expensive a long time ago, but now it's become so cheap. So people love sugar. They really, really like sugar. They like sweet things. But I can tell you now, once you enjoy bitter things in your diet, you'll start to tone down the amount of sugar that you eat. Bitter is the opposite of sweet. Bitter improves digestion. Bitter repels parasites. Candida hates bitter stuff. Sweet things, especially refined sugar, bacteria and yeast and parasites thrive on sugar, especially white refined sugar. Right? They thrive on that. You ruin your immune system. You ruin your digestive health. I'm sure you can go to Google and type in sugar and bad effects on health and just see pages with like thousands of different effects that sugar causes. So that's an interesting question. Let's look at that question carefully. Best way to reintroduce sugar or sugar substitutes after completing the diet. So I would put it to you, how much do you like sugar? How important was sugar in your life? Were you eating lots of candy and chocolates and ice creams all the time? Maybe it's time, after the Candida Crusher approach, for you to tone that kind of quantity of sugar down. Maybe you need to stop eating this kind of sugar. Sugar substitutes are not a bad idea. Let me tell you what I did the other day. I made up a beautiful salad out of the garden. I grow lots of stuff. So got all the kids home at the moment. So I made up this really nice salad. It's called tabbouleh. It's a Greek salad. So lots and lots of parsley chopped fine, lots of mint chopped fine, a couple of tomatoes, a couple of scallions or spring onions, all chopped fine, mixed together. I put a bit of cracked wheat, or burgul, I think they call it. The Greeks call it, or cracked wheat. You just boil this cracked wheat and then squeeze the water out of it. That got mixed through it. And then, guess what I did? I got a hold of a small bunch of stevia, because I grow lots of stevia plants. And I cut these leaves up fine and I mixed it through. Now that salad was so sweet. It was amazingly sweet. It was a beautiful salad. So I want you to check out stevia, Stevia. You can actually grow stevia as a little plant. It's very smart for you to grow a couple of these in your garden or in a pot. And I can tell you, guarantee you, when you grow this stuff, you want it all the time. Right? You can grow big bushes out of it. It tastes fantastic. In fact, when you pull off the leaf and chew it, you swear you've just had a teaspoon of sugar in your mouth. Now, the good thing about stevia is it's a prebiotic, so it actually helps to build beneficial bacteria. It contains many different flavones and glycosides, many different natural chemicals in it that have an effect on slowing down the release of sugar into the system. Right? It doesn't create any problems in terms of spiking blood sugar. It doesn't rot your teeth or cause dental caries. Bacteria don't thrive in the presence of stevia. Fresh stevia plants perfectly acceptable for a candida person to have. Even if you've got blastocystis or parasites, you've got no problem if you eat stevia. So clever to grow it. You can buy refined stevia powder, but in my opinion, you're better off growing the plant stevia. Same thing holds for sugarcane. If you live in a warm country and you can actually crush sugarcane juice, it's actually a very healthy drink to have. It does contain a lot more sucrose in it, however, than stevia, so you need to be careful with full-blown yeast infection. But most healthy people can tolerate reasonably large amounts of sugarcane juice all the time. I've been speaking to people in Brazil and the Philippines and other countries who drink lots of sugarcane juice. They're skinny people with perfect gums and teeth. They've got no diabetes. It's a fantastic health food. Guys, there are many different types of natural sugars that you can eat that are perfectly acceptable to have. But when you buy stuff that a guy's made in a white coat in a factory, it's usually crap, right? So when you come to reintroduce sugar into your diet, do what I do. Don't buy sugar anymore. You don't need raw sugar. You don't need white sugar. I'm a beekeeper, so I keep lots of beehives. So I'm quite lucky in that I can just break a piece of honeycomb out whenever I want and have some nice, fresh, natural honey. Honey's a fantastic food when you haven't got major yeast infection. If you've got a bad yeast infection, it's not great to eat that. But I don't find honey a really bad problem if you've got a parasite problem, especially the Manuka honey, our beautiful Manuka New Zealand honey, which is very, very healthy, and also with a high hydrogen peroxide value, it's very antibacterial and antiparasitic, I found out. So when you come to reintroduce sugars into the diet, stevia, xylitol, Manuka honey, right? Sugarcane juice, another really good one. Don't buy sugar anymore. Don't buy bags of sugar. Don't add sugar into baking or cooking or stuff like that. Stevia fresh is the best, but stevia powder is perfectly acceptable. The other one I like you to look at is called xylitol with an X, Z-Y-L-I-T-O-L, xylitol. Xylitol actually inhibits streptococci bacteria in the mouth, so it stops dental plaque from forming. It's endorsed by the British Dental Association. It's a very healthy kind of a sugar made from different plants, like vegetables and fruits. So xylitol or stevia. I think stevia probably has the edge over xylitol though. If you're going to buy candy when you recover, make sure that the candy contains stevia in it, not refined sugar. Look for stuff like evaporated cane juice, or all these crappy, stupid, fancy names that we use for sugars on foods, you know. There are many different types of names. And if you're unsure, go to Google and then type that word in and you'll find it's probably a sugar. Right? So here's what I'll also put to you. If you've been eating a particular kind of snack food high in sugar, quite a lot of, and then you did the Candida diet, that's the kind of sugary food you need to put in the last. All right? Remember, always maintain foods with the highest desires from you. The food that you want to eat all the time is the last food you reintroduce, not the first one you put back in. All right? Because if you do that, then by the time you put the last one back in, the first one you put back in, you've ramped up the consumption of it, and then you could start getting problems again. All right? So here's another tip. All the foods that you've taken out with contain sugar in them, write them all down on a list. All right? It's a whole page of different foods that may have contained sugar. And then put a line behind it, and then score each food 1, 2, 3. 3 high desire, 2 moderate desire, 1 low desire. The ones you put back in first, the 2 second, the 3rd you put back in last. All right? Clever. That's going to allow your stomach, digestive system, small intestine time to grow beneficial bacteria back again, rather than assaulting it with sugars, which could bring yeasts, fungi and bacteria back again. Use an intelligent approach. Best off to avoid sugar as much as you can and go, when you're healthy like me, go for the natural sugars. You'll be surprised how much honey I eat. You'll be surprised how much stevia I eat. I've got no digestive issues or bowel issues whatsoever. And my Candida was so bad years ago, but now I can eat plenty of honey, no problem. Minimal gas, nice flat tummy, no pain anywhere, lots of energy. So all these foods can come back into your diet when you recover, okay? But candy, things like that, it's just not something I'm interested in. Ice cream, I like coconut ice cream. I wouldn't eat dairy ice cream anymore. So there you have it. That's how you're going to reintroduce sugar or sugar substitutes after the Candida crusher diet. I hope that gives you some useful information. Click on the link below if you haven't got my report, and please subscribe. Thanks for tuning in.